Good morning, welcome to Inside News. It's our Friday show on the mark where I'm going to go through the card as best as I can with you. Unfortunately, I'm by myself this morning. Shahil couldn't make it. He's writing exams and obviously I wish him all the best. Let's hope he does as well in his exams as I do with going through this card with you. Hopefully we can find you a couple of winners. It does look sort of pretty easy early on in the day, but then it does get work out a little bit tougher as we move on. Let's start off with race 1. It's a 1600 meters 0.25, and as I said, it starts off a bit easy. I think Perplexing is going to be a very, very hard horse to beat. Just go back to his first start in Mauritius where he ran second to Zodiac Jack. Then obviously his second run, quite a controversial race. There was quite a lot of talk about James Terrat not riding to instructions, etc., etc. And I suppose that was justified by the way that he came out and won his next start. He won very easily. He won like a good horse. It's been quite a while since I've seen a horse like this start off their career in Mauritius. I think I have mentioned to you before that he sort of gives me the same sort of feeling as Diamond Light. I think Perplexing is a little bit special. I think he's going to be too good for this field, and I'm going to make him a very, very hard horse to beat. In fact, if you're taking a pick 8, I think you can take a chance and bank a number 2, Perplexing. I think if you have to look, if anything is to beat, obviously number 1, Blazing Heart, was a very good second last time in 1850. He was in front most of the way, and he just got touched off late. Obviously, the 1600 should suit him a little bit better, number 1, Blazing Heart. And then probably Starsky, I suppose you have to consider him as well. He is drawn 1. He's got 3 kilos off his back, and I see they are trying blinkers for the first time on number 6, Starsky. So I would imagine they must fancy his chances as well. But I think Perplexing is going to be tough to beat. But this is going to be my trifecta. 2, Perplexing to beat number 1, Blazing Heart. Number 6, Starsky will be my third choice. Right, then we move over to race 2. It's a 1365 benchmark 36, and once again, I think we've got a bank in this race. In fact, not just a bank in this race. I'm going to make him my banker of the day, number 3, Captain My Captain. Remember that excellent run last time in the second leg of the 3-year-old championship when he ran third to Why Wouldn't You? And I remember Robbie Frad in an interview after that race saying that he thought the 1450 was just a touch too far for Captain My Captain. Obviously coming down to the 1365 now is going to suit him a lot better. It's a benchmark 36, and I believe that Captain My Captain is going to be too classy in this race. In fact, I haven't really looked at any of the other runners. I've made him my bank of the day. I'm going to stick to it. I do believe that Captain My Captain is going to be very tough to beat. Remember, he's got Robbie Frad in the irons. He's drawn 1. I suppose he'll sit wherever he wants to sit. He was very handy last time in that 3-year-old championship. I wouldn't be surprised if he's handy again, and I think in the top of the straight he's just going to kick away from this field. I do believe that he's way better than what he's taking on. So Captain My Captain, not only the banker of the race, but I think I'm going to make him my banker of the meeting. Right, then we move over to race 3. It's a 990 benchmark 41, and once again Robbie Frad's got a very good ride here in the form of number 1, Riding Shotgun. I see they're trying blinkers on. I don't know if you remember watching our show Jeu de Gallo, where I showed you that barrier trial with the blinkers. It was a very, very impressive gallop with the blinkers on, and I also did say that I thought he is a horse that sort of merits blinkers. Having a look at his last run, and he was, well, I mean, he just, to me, it just looked like, I think he's a sort of candidate for blinkers, and his barrier trial proved that the blinkers has improved him quite a lot, especially over 1,000 meters. This is a 990. Remember, his debut was over 990 when he ran third behind Zodiac Jack. We all know what Zodiac Jack's come out and done. And then his next start, well, obviously he was scratched, but his next start, very good run behind Ice Run. He's drawn 1. Robbie Frad once again in the irons. I think he's going to be a very, very hard horse to beat. I like this horse. I think he's got a bright future in Mauritius. And once again, I'm going to bank a Robbie Frad from that draw 1. If you look for anything to get him beat, well, maybe Game Loft. If you go back 3 runs, very good run in the 990. Well, not very good run, very good win when he trounced Sky High Flyer by 4 lengths in that 1,000-meter event. He's drawn 3. He's got 3 kilos off his back, so he'll only be carrying 56.5. And he could be the biggest, well, I think he is the biggest danger to number 1, Riding Shotgun. In fact, those are the only 2 really horses that I really want to talk about. Game Loft, I was impressed with that 990-meter win when he beat Sky High Flyer. Remember, Sky High Flyer came out and won again, so that form has been franked, and obviously with that claim off his back as well, that could help him. But I think at the end of the day, I'm going to stick with Robbie Frad and Riding Shotgun once again. I think he'll win the second and the third. Right, then we move over to race 4. It's a 1400 benchmark 51, and I want to talk about Argo Solo. Remember his penultimate run when he won so easily. He won by almost 6 lengths when he beat Ice Run, and I thought that was a very, very good win. He's obviously a very talented horse, and then he went into that 4-year-old championship. He was the favorite. In fact, he was the favorite to beat Lee Star. But unfortunately, everything went wrong for Argo Solo that day. If you remember correctly, on the backstretch there, I don't know exactly what happened. It looked like he ran into the rail, and Richard Oliver had a hard time controlling him, and I think he almost lost his iron as well. So I think there's a lot of excuses coming out of that race. He still went and got beat 6 lengths, but I think with the draw 1, if everything goes well, I think Argo Solo is going to be quite tough horse to beat. I really rate this horse, and like I said, he was in Post Lafayette over December time, and he really is a beautiful animal, and I think Argo Solo, in my opinion, is definitely going to be the horse to beat. One horse that I do like, I liked him last time as well, he's number 1, Racing for Fun. Remember, he has run in 51, this horse. He's done well in 51. He ran 3rd and 2nd behind horses like Jolly Roger and Noah's Ark, and that's good form, and that was without claiming. Last time, he was claimed. He had 4 kilos off his back. Brandon Louis, I thought, ran an excellent race. Once again, Brandon Louis on his back. This time, 3 kilos off. He's only going to be carrying 58 in a rating of 51. And if you just go back, he ran well with 59 and 58 in this rating. He's come out and won a race. So he's almost like a winner without a penalty. He's drawn 2. It's not going to be a difficult race for Brandon Louis to ride. And what I like about this horse is his 400 to finish time. All his last 4 runs have all been in the 24 seconds, and there's not many horses in this race that have done that. So Racing for Fun, I think with that draw, he's probably going to sit right up behind Argo Solo, and that claim just might help him in the end when it comes to the last sort of 100 meters. And then my third choice, once again, Robbie Frad. He's riding the Right Road. I liked this horse last time. I thought it was a little bit disappointing, although if you remember correctly, Active Loyalty did win quite easily. I think he won by 3.5, 4 lengths, and Right Road finished 4.5 lengths behind him. So if you take the winner out the race, well, he ran a pretty close-up second. But this horse just keeps on improving, and I just think that the 1400 is going to suit him a little bit better than that 1650 that he took on last time. I see he did win a 1600 in South Africa, but I think he's a better horse suited to the 1450. And there's some horses that I sort of do pick that up. Like if you remember, It Doesn't Matter. I said to you last week that I thought the 1400 was going to suit him a lot better. I think the Right Road as well. I just think that the 1400, the pace is going to be on. He's drawn 4, and I think he's going to have a much better finish, this horse, the Right Road. So he's going to be my third selection. So let me go through it again. Argo Solo to win, to beat Racing for Fun, and the Right Road will be my third choice. Right, then we go back to the 990 meters, the 5th race. It's a benchmark 56. And we've seen the debut of 2 very, very good 3-year-old horses, El Mariachi and Ideal Secret. I was lucky enough to see El Mariachi run in Cape Town, and he really impressed me that day. And he went on to win a couple of feature races later on in the season as a 2-year-old and then as an early 3-year-old. And obviously he was owned by Mauritian owners in South Africa. They decided to bring him down to Mauritius, and I just think that this horse is ideally suited, well, he's going to be suited to this track. Just his way of racing. He's a small, compact horse, and I really like this horse. If you have a look at his barrier trial, it was very, very impressive, El Mariachi. I'm going to make him the horse to beat. Obviously, we don't know how the first-timers are going to perform or behave on their first start, but this horse looks like he's an intelligent horse, and I think he's going to be my first choice. I really do like El Mariachi. Then number 3, Ideal Secret. Once again, I said 2 good horses making their debut. I remember Andrew Fortune phoning me one day and telling me that there's a horse coming for Ricky Manuel called Ideal Secret. Follow this horse. He's a top racehorse. And obviously, if you go back to his form, he's got some very, very solid form. When he ran in feature races, he ran 2nd behind a horse called Zen Arcade, which is a very decent horse in South Africa. And Ideal Secret, obviously, the 1,000 meters is probably going to it's not going to be as ideal as it is for El Mariachi, but he's very classy, this horse. He's drawn 1. And I think that he could sort of sit in any position, and maybe his class will be too good for them at the top of the straight. Another horse that put up a very, very good barrier trial a couple of weeks ago. I was very impressed with his barrier trial. So these 2 3-year-olds, I think they're going to be very, very nice horses in Mauritius. It's going to be interesting to watch their debut. I think my vote's going to go with El Mariachi clearly because he's done well over the sprint distance, whereas Ideal Secret did a little bit better over a bit further. But he is a very classy horse. Out of the race horses, well, I have to talk about number 5, Answering Genesis. I thought that you could draw a line through his last run. Remember, he was drawn 8, and it's very, very tough from that 8 draw in this 1,000 meters. Well, when I say 1,000 meters, we obviously now I'm talking about the 990. But he's drawn 3 this time. He's working very, very well. The source I saw him work on Tuesday. I was very impressed with his workout. Remember, he's got Brandon Louis in the irons. He's he's only going to be carrying 54 kilos. He's drawn 3. I wouldn't be surprised if he pops out and he leads. And he could be a tough horse to catch, especially with that lightweight. Remember, Brandon Louis is riding very, very well. He's riding on top of his game, and he's a hard worker. And he looks like he's going to be a decent rider, Brandon Louis. So, Answering Genesis. Out of the race horses, I would make him my first choice, but I just think that these 2 first-timers are very, very classy horses, and they might just be too classy in the end. But if they do fluff their lines, I'm going to go with Answering Genesis. Let me just recap. So I'm going to go Al Mariachi, and then Ideal Secret and Answering Genesis to fight out that 2nd and 3rd place. Right, then it's our feature race. It's the Radio Plus 16th Anniversary Trophy. It is the Winter Stake. It's a Group 3 event, and small but very competitive field. There's an 1850 rating, 60 plus, and once again Robbie Fradwell, he's been very lucky with the draws. You just have a look at his draws. He's drawn 1 once again on number 2, Dawn Raid, and I thought there was a cracking run last time from that bad draw. Swapnil Rama took him off to the front and then tried to sort of ease the pace and dictate it for himself, but then his stable companion was pulling with Robbie, went around him, and probably had burnt up a little bit of energy up that backstretch, but he still went and ran a very good race, a very good second behind 10 Gun Salute. Remember, 10 Gun Salute came out and ran 3rd in the Barbie on Saturday, so that form has been franked. I think he is 2 kilos better off with Solar Star, which I see Solar Star's quite fancied in the betting, but I think that Dawn Raid, he's going to be my number 1 choice. He's a very, very nice horse, especially since they've been putting over a bit of ground, and I think the 1850 is going to suit him down to the ground. Right. Then we see the return of Parachute Man. Well, not the return. He has had 1 run this season. I thought it was a very good run in that 1400 where he only got beat 5 lengths by Kara, and it was a very, very good run. It was nice to see the champion horse, well, the ex-champion horse, the ex-Maiden Cup winner. I think he's won the Gold Cup as well. Very nice to see him back onto the race course, and he's looking pretty good. He's looking pretty sound, and it looks like he's enjoying his races. And it'll be nice to see Parachute Man back over a distance that he's suited to. Obviously, the 1850 is going to suit him a lot better than his comeback run in the 1400. And I really think that Parachute Man's going to run a cracking race here. I see that, well, he has run behind Dawn Raid before, but this time he's so much better off in the weights. I'm not exactly sure about how many kilos, but it is a couple of kilos, and Parachute Man is a lot better off at the weights with Dawn Raid. So he could give Dawn Raid a run for his money. And then if I'm going to talk about my 3rd choice is number 8, ML Jet. He's had 3 runs this season, obviously in distances way shorter than what he'd prefer. This time, obviously, over the 1850, it's going to suit him a lot better. And remember, he ran 2nd in the Maiden Cup last year. The pace is going to be pretty decent. It's going to suit him. He's going to, in my opinion, he's going to be running on best of all, number 8, ML Jet. I definitely do like him for my 3rd choice. So let me recap. I think I'm going to go with number 2, Dawn Raid, purely because Parachute Man's 2nd run after quite a long layoff, but I'm not going to write off Parachute Man. My 3rd choice is going to be number 8, ML Jet. Right, then we move over to the 7th race. It's a 1600-meter benchmark 31, and I'm going to move away from the favorites slightly. I like the look of number 9, New Golden Age. Kirsty Ramsamy has replaced Derek David. I'm not exactly sure why Derek David's not riding New Golden Age. He's drawn 1. And you just have to look at this horse's form, especially at the end of last year. Have a look at the horses he ran behind. Secret Idea, it doesn't matter. Both these horses have come out and won this season. That form's pretty solid. And then, obviously, he's run behind a horse like Zodiac Jack. And even his last run was a very good half a length behind Zen Master. And when he came from quite a way off them. And I think now with that draw 1, he's going to be in a much better position. And I'm going to take him as my first choice. I think in fact, I think he's going to be quite a hard horse to beat in this race, purely on form, purely the fact that he's only got 56 to his shoulder and he's drawn 1. Everything's pointing towards New Golden Age. I like this horse. He's going to be my first choice. And obviously, Juliadar, we've got to talk about Juliadar. Remember, last time I thought he was quite unlucky not to win the race on objection, and He went down a very short head to that horse Kimberly, and I thought he was a little bit unlucky. Remember, just have a look at his penultimate start when he ran behind that horse Perplexing. So if you want to have a bet on Julio Dar, have a look early on in the day in race 1 how Perplexing's performed. If he went away and won a good, easy race, well then obviously Julio Dar, you've got to think that his chances have got even better. He's drawn 2. Imran Chisti knows him quite well. He's ridden him a few times. And you just have to look, his last 5 starts, he's run second 4 times. So it'll be nice to see Julio Dar being rewarded with a win. He's been a model of consistency, and be pretty nice to see Julio Dar win. Then my third choice, Uncle JB. Well, he only finished a half a length behind Julio Dar last time. This time he's got the claim 3 kilos, so he is 3 kilograms better off with Julio Dar. And Uncle JB just seems to make improvement with every single run, and I wouldn't be surprised if Uncle JB finished in the money this time. But I'm going to stick with number 9, New Golden Age. He'll be my first choice. To beat number 2, Julio Dar, Uncle JB will be my third choice. Right, then it's the 8th race. It's the Lucky Loss. It's a 1400 meters rating 0.26, and this is where my value bet is going to come. In fact, I'm quite surprised at the price of number 4, First Crusade. I think he opened up at 1,000 rupees or 900 rupees, trading there around about there. I thought this horse was very, very unlucky last time when he was taken on for the lead by Klopp. And in fact, the whole way up the backstretch and around that final turn, and he still managed to fight them off, only to get beat half a length by Zen Master. I thought it was a cracking run. Yes, he has got a bad draw to deal with this time. If you take out the emergency acceptor, he's going to be drawn 8 out of 10. But I think that this horse could probably, the way he raced last time, I wouldn't be surprised if he's sort of sitting 1 off, even if he hasn't got cover. I think that he's going to run a crack of this horse. I'm going to make him my first choice, and like I said, I'm going to make him my value bet as well. He's come on a lot from that second run. He's doing very well, and I'd like to see First Crusade win. I'd like to see Richie Mullen have his first winner in Mauritius as well, so let's hope he can bring First Crusade home. And my second choice will obviously be number 5, G-Star, because having a look at this field, I don't see many horses challenging him for the lead. Maybe Klopp, but Klopp is drawn 10. But I think if G-Star goes off and leads, and Imran sort of dictates his own pace, if he goes out slow in front, he's got quite a nice kick at the top of the straight, G-Stud, so he could be quite difficult to reel in if he does manage to get to the front and have a soft lead. So he'll be my second choice. And then obviously I want to talk about the newcomer Redline Captain, another Captain L. So nice to see these Captain L's racing Mauritius. They're beautiful horses, and you just have to see what a couple of them have done. I mean, just have to mention Captain Rum. He's a nice horse, and very similar sort of form line. He's a maiden, and his best run was his last run when he ran second over 1,700. And I can tell you this horse's work has been very, very good. I was impressed with his barrier trial as well. Let's see how Redline Captain goes. I think he's going to be good enough to fill a place in this sort of field, and I definitely give him a chance. Robbie Fraser, he looks like he's got a nice book of rides. It's worthwhile following Robbie throughout the day, and let's see what happens with Redline Captain. But I'm going to stick with my value bet, First Crusade, to beat G-Stud. My third choice will be Redline Captain. Right, well, that's it. Let me give you my bank of the day. Like I said to you early on in race 2, I think my captain is going to be a very, very tough horse to beat. And then my value bet is going to be in the last race, First Crusade, as I mentioned. Hopefully those 2 horses win. Hopefully you have a nice day at the race course, and hopefully you'll catch up with us on Tuesday when we preview this race meeting on Jeu de Gallo. Thank you very much for joining us. Remember, catch us next week. Goodbye.